you.
Yeah.
Open door policy.
Correct.
More players doing that this go around.
Yeah, yes, I have, certainly. You know, and I think a lot of it attributes to our summer schedule and some things we were able to do in the summer that NCAA allows. And then this is really our training camp. Last fall, summer training camp, our guys had classes. So they were in class, scrambled to get them an hour or so to meet, and then we're practicing. You know, now, we have a big block of meeting time in the morning. They have a midday break, got another meeting before practice. And, there's a lot of guys hanging around in McHugh, right, wanting to get extra film or get extra nuggets, right, tips. What can I do? Coach, why are we doing this? And there's more guys asking why, as opposed to just assuming they're asking why. Yeah.
You think it's leading to a better understanding of the offense?
I do believe that. And Tony had a background anyway very similar, so the transition makes it easy. But with all the pieces coming together, whether it's the backs, receivers, tight ends, O-line, right? We all got a little chip on about ourselves to go out there and put together a good product. Yeah. Yeah. Again, and he's one of the guys that his personalities come out, right? Last year was a first-year kid, probably uncertain of himself, got thrust into action probably before he's ready, even though physically he handled it. And now he's just more confident because now he's smiling, he's talking, he's jovial. And beforehand, he was very just unsure of himself. So to see that come out brings up a lot of confidence. His body's changed from the weight room, and his condition is better. So you see him playing with a lot more power out there at practice. A lot of it's because he's got more athletic confidence about himself. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing because our numbers are up. We're able to rep 3 groups, which allows those first 2 groups of guys to kind of stay fresh because they're not having to do 3 rotations. And they're doing well. Coach Heff is pushing them hard, and they're responding. Today was the first day in shoulder pads. And like anything, we got a few things to clean up, but I like where we are, at the practice 3.
You said that Jay stepping away.
Yeah.
Kind of cleaning up some things. You just have reps and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Muskett's going with the first group, Plandra with the second group, here through the third practice. Grady and Delaney, those guys are sprinkling in there with the thirds. And then, we got another practice tomorrow where we get some situational football, evaluate that, go into next week and probably start kind of mixing some things up, giving Calandra opportunity to work with the first group, and see how he handles and operates in that situation. And truthfully, see how Musket does with the second group, and getting everybody familiar with each other because, again, football is a physical game. Next man up, anything can happen. So, obviously, we're aware of that from last year.
And you guys were shopping for a new offensive line coach.
Yeah.
What did you and Tony like about that? What separated him from the other candidates?
So, the first thing everybody said about Heff is he's a developer, he's a teacher, in all of our research that we've done. And then you go back and look at his background. As a D2 guy, as a player, he came up in the ranks as a D2 coach to an FCS coach. Was an assistant O-line coach at 2 stints in the NFL. Was a Power 5 coach with David Shaw, really highly respected coach. He worked for Jim Caldwell in the Detroit Lions. He worked up in Buffalo with those guys. So there was a lot of people that spoke to him as a developer, a teacher, and that's what we needed, with this group of offensive linemen. And he's a tough guy, hard-nosed guy, but he's fair, and that's what we were looking for. Yeah. He can do a lot, and because one, he's such a football guy, right? He's very smart, savvy, plays good in space, and he's tough. He's built like a running back, and I was joking with him yesterday, had some perimeter stuff, and he was blocking guys up. I was like, thank you for bringing that Big Ten blocking to us, blocking on the perimeter. So he's an unselfish guy, right? He just wants to play football. He wants to contribute to help us win, and he's doing that. So.
Day 1 to day 2, day 2 to day 3.
Yep.
The things you're targeting, are you seeing the improvements?
I am, and today was a test to him because, we've been stressing just, growth mindset, right? Every day, just seeking growth mindset, and the guys have accepted that challenge. And we're pushing them. We're pushing the envelope, right? We push them to the threshold, seeing if they'll crash, and they're not crashing. They're being resilient in that, and their effort and their strain. Like anything, we still got to clean up some details, but I like our effort. I like where we are effort-wise and the communication amongst all guys. And we keep doing that, man. I think we'll have the success we're seeking. So.
The kid from Houston, I don't know how you pronounce
Uganda? Yeah, Uganda.
how's he doing?
He's doing well too. He saw probably a 10 to, I think maybe 15-pound gain since he got here, the strength and training room, and has brought a good, solid, sturdy guy in there at guard for us. And I know Uganda's a very conscientious kid. He wants to do it right. You love those kind of guys, right? Sometimes it can paralyze them, but I'd rather have that than a guy that doesn't care, because it means something to him, and he's one of those type kids.
But how many receivers would you like to have going in the season?
Yeah.
Where are you guys at now?
We're still, in the season you like to have a solid 6, and a lot of that depends on special teams. We talk about, right, guys got to contribute on special teams. And, we have, if you include the freshmen, they're getting a lot of work too for us to evaluate them. I think we'll find that 6 by the time we get to the first game. Yeah.
Like this Malachi got to be back.
Yeah. I like a lot about Malachi being back, But it's just a steady presence, man. The guy's, he's just a quiet, but a hard-working guy. He don't ask for much. It just shows him work. He's a sponge for information. He just wants to know, what can I do to get better? How can I help the team? And it's been very refreshing to have him back, because he's a playmaker. He's going to make plays for us this fall.
Did Gibson help himself by being there in the spring?
Yes, you see a kid that, benefited from being here through spring practice, right? He's more confident now, right? Whereas some of the other freshmen that got here in June, they're still a little timid, Jaden's more confident. He's actually another kid. He's trying to help the young guys, right? And that's the thing you like when you got players. It's competitive, and everybody's competing for positions. But when you got guys trying to coach and help the next guy, because we know it benefits the team, then that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building a team, an offensive unit, a team to go win games. So.
You got 2 more or
Yeah.
1 more?
What else you got?
The quarterbacks, Taylor Lamb said he wants 3 rotations.
Yeah.
Just to get a compliment.
Correct.
Do you feel like you're getting there with some of these guys?
Yeah, we do. Yesterday, first at Skelly, because I hadn't done the chart yet for the day, but we started off 10 for 10, in pass scale. That's obviously quarterbacks, that's receivers, and it carried over into our team period with some of the things we're doing there. So you see, the execution of whether it's Musket or Calandry or Grady of getting into their progression, first read, second read balls out of their hand. Right, and that's a big key to offensive football. We talk a lot about passing the football, is spacing, timing, and trust, right? And we're building that understanding of the vertical spacing, the horizontal spacing, the timing in which we got to be, where we got to be, and the trust that, hey, I'm gonna make this play. All right, I don't care if I'm first in the read or third in the read. I'm trusting I'm gonna be in my spot. That if the quarterback comes to me, we're making the play. So everybody's having a fuller understanding of that.
Thanks, everybody.